Hi, assalamu alaikum guys. Today I'm super comfy sitting on my couch and I'm supposed to be going out, but I have something so excited to share with you. I've been wanting to film this video for a while and it's actually my DNA results. I did purchase the Ancestry DNA kit, which is £70 and then £30 I believe is shipping because it comes up to 100. And basically I have got my results and I'm so excited to share it with you guys. So I actually have it in front of me. Am I surprised? So I was really surprised and it was a huge surprise to me. My husband Ahmed wasn't surprised at all. He was like, that's so boring. I thought there'll be something cool that I didn't know about. But for me it was exciting because I always had this doubt of what I was, because my mom, okay, so growing up my parents didn't really tell me where I'm from. My dad was like, I'm Algerian. My mom was like, well, we grew up in Russia, so she never really told me much about anything. And growing up I didn't fit in anywhere. I was always I just didn't fit anywhere. I didn't fit with the Arabs. There was no Russians, so I couldn't fit in with Russians because I didn't know any. At the time I didn't know I was Turkish, so that side was kind of ruled out as well, and I just didn't fit anywhere and I really felt so out of place. So that's why I really wanted to do the DNA test, because I feel like it would have confirmed what I was. And then when I was in college, my mom explained to me that she's Tatar, but she's not exactly sure where from. She just knew it was Bulgaria, Turkey and Russia, so it kind of like those kind of mixes. And then with my dad it was just Algerian and stuff, but then he's like, I think I have some Turkish, like that's what we think, we're not 100% sure, because my grandma doesn't really look full Algerian. So we just never knew, and I was just like always thinking about it. It's always coming up, and then everybody started doing DNA tests, and I thought, okay, you know what, I'm gonna check mine and finally answer the questions of who I am and where I come from, because, and you know, since I know my results, it has changed. I feel like I know what I am 100%, because I never knew exactly, like my dad, growing up my dad was always like, you're not Russian, because I always said I'm half Russian, half Algerian, and he's like, no, you're not Russian. So then I got so confused, but then I was like, I am. And then my mom was like, well, technically, you know, we're Tatar. So then I was like, okay, where does that put me? It was just so confusing, and like I grew up in like different countries and different cities, so we've always moved around, so I was never part of like any community really. But I have my results, and I'm just gonna tell you guys. So basically it's so interesting. So I'm only, this was a shock to me by the way, I am only 19% North African, so technically I'm only 19% Algerian, which was a shock. Well, it wasn't really, I always knew that I wasn't that much Arab. I always felt like I was more Russian, I was more European anyway, but my dad was like, no, you're like proper Algerian, blah blah blah. So that was really interesting to know. And also guys, like with this, siblings all have, like your DNA will always come differently just because you pick up different things and stuff like that. So this is for me. And then Eastern European, which is in second place, is 18%, and that's basically for me is Poland and Bulgaria. So Poland, I don't know how much, whether it is Poland or whether it is mainly Bulgarian. Like it's kind of like, it's really hard, because the one that I did, it kind of summarizes the whole place, like the whole of East Europe, but then Poland is like really highlighted, so I'm not sure if it means that, or whether it's picking up just Poland on its own. But then I know obviously my mom told me Bulgarian, so I knew straight away that it's none of the other countries, so it's definitely Bulgaria. So East European, I'm 18%, which is so crazy. And then I'm in third place is 18% Turkish, which is so crazy because I did not think it would be that high of a percentage, especially because my mom's like, I guess it's both her parents, but then my dad's like, well, maybe because they think like my dad's got some Turkish in him, so maybe because he's got some in him and then my mom has as well, it's come up as a high percentage. I mean, I already knew she was going to be quite high, but I did not think mine would come up so high, and I didn't know that I had anything to do with Turkey until I was like 17. So it's so late in life, but this is kind of why I did the DNA test, because I really wanted to know if I really was Turkish. So then there's Caucasus, which I'm not 100% sure like what it means exactly. I kind of need to research that one. I didn't research it yet, I keep forgetting. But it's countries like Armenia, Georgia, Iran, Iraq, and Syria, and Turkey. And I'm guessing mine's mainly Turkey, if not just Turkey, really. So then that also adds back to Turkey. So if that's like 18% Turkish before, and then another 10% on top, that makes you 28%, which is really high. And then Finland, well, I guess Finland it's not really to do with me because it says Finland / Northwest Russia. I'm guessing with me it's Northwest Russia, that's 9%. So I'm 8% Central Asian, which is really high and very interesting. And that is Afghanistan, that is, I'm guessing, not really, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan. But that makes sense because I grew up in Kyrgyzstan and there's quite a lot of Tatars there, so I guess they were mixed in. And then the really low percentages is I'm 7% Middle Eastern, 4% Asian East, which is really interesting. Then I'm 3% Mali, which is really interesting. Mali's in Africa, and it's West Africa. And then 2% European Jewish, and I'm 1% European South. That's like France and stuff, which makes sense because the French colonized Algeria. And then 1% Asian South, which is so interesting because that's basically India. So very interesting. And then the last one, which I'm just like, I don't even know where this came from, is 1% Great British. So very, very strange, because I was just like, and like a few of my friends got it done and nobody had Great British come up. So I'm just like, that's so interesting, and I wonder how that happened. But yeah, so that's everything. And then like all your countries I just highlighted, and then you can check it out, like which ones it is exactly, like when they talk about North and East and stuff, and you can see what countries are actually there. It's just so interesting, and I feel like if you're confused, or if you don't know what you are, or you really want to find out what you are, this is amazing, especially like if you're adopted and like you don't know where you come from. It's just so cool to find out where you are from, because I think it's so important. That's when people, it's really important to feel like you're part of something. And growing up, something I struggled with, but now I know what I am. Now it doesn't even matter as much because I'm just like in my own little bubble, and it's just like whatever. But it's so interesting to know, and I'm so happy I did it. I don't regret it at all. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's really exciting for me to do it and just kind of share with you guys. And if you've done it, let me know what you got and how you got on with it, because it's so exciting talking to other people who have got it done. It's so crazy how like mixed everybody really is. And also like on the app, it actually shows you like where your family have come from like the 1800s and stuff. Like with me, it's so interesting because it was like, it's like with me it was so interesting because it mainly came from Eastern Europe, and then they kind of traveled out, and then towards the 1900s they actually moved to America, which is really, really interesting. Like my family is pretty, my dad's side is pretty big, my mom's side, I guess it's big, but they're not very connected, so everybody just kind of lives all over the place and everybody's doing their own thing. And then like, you know, there was wars and stuff, like the Second World War and everything. all that kind of stuff was going on, so everybody just, it kind of all got very messy. But I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I shall see you in my next video. And also, if you want me to do more like sitting down talking videos, let me know down below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will do more. Bye.